Okay, so the first question is, Alicia, you have faced many challenges since your diagnosis at such a young age. How has your journey shaped your outlook on resilience and your approach to life's obstacles? Facing a health challenge for me at such a young age has given me a unique perspective on resilience. For me, it's never about just getting through tough times. It's about finding strengths in moments of uncertainty and learning how to adapt to constant change. Being diagnosed with a brain tumor as a baby, losing my vision, and dealing with chronic illness meant that I had to develop a mindset of resilience early on. It shaped how I approach everyday obstacles that come my way. Instead of seeing challenges as setbacks, I view them as opportunities to learn more about myself and grow stronger. I'm also driven to make something positive out of my experience, whether it's through advocacy or creating art or building community. Resilience to me is something about transformation, that in the tough moments, turning them into a source of power and motivation. Every challenge has taught me something different, whether it's patience, compassion, or importance of pushing for a more inclusive world. It's made me not just stronger, but more empathetic to others who face the same barriers. I've talked about how humor has played a big role in my daily life, and I could share a specific experience from when laughter has helped me navigate through tough situations. It's always been one of my ways to take control of the situation when I'm feeling overwhelmed, especially when it comes to medical appointments like MRIs. I often go for MRIs, and instead of letting those experiences be purely medical and stressful, I find ways to put some fun into them. One thing I love to do is put on a hospital gown and dance around. It sounds a bit funny, but to me, it brightens up the entire room and makes me laugh and also makes the other people laugh in the room. By dancing those gowns, I'm reminding myself that I can find joy in every tough situation and really help myself so I don't have to have those bad memories. The third question is, as you pursue your studies in disability studies, how has your personal journey influenced your passion for advocacy for accessible education, especially for children with disabilities? For me, my studies in disability studies are deeply connected to my personal journey. Growing up, I never had anyone in the media that looked like me or was like me. Even in the classroom, there was a lack of representation, and it really stuck with me. It made me realize how isolating it can be when you don't see yourself reflected in the world around you. That's why I'm so passionate about creating spaces where children with disabilities, particularly blindness, can see themselves represented authentically. I want to be the person I never had growing up, the one who advocates for them, fights for their inclusion, and makes sure that their voices are heard. My experiences have taught me that the most important accessible education, not just in terms of physical accommodations, but also in how we shape narratives around disability. Education should be empowering for all children, and I believe that starts with representation. I want children to know that their disabilities don't define their limitations, but rather their unique strengths. Through my advocacy, I hope to create a world where they can feel seen, heard, understood, because I know firsthand how important it is. Representation is about showing those kids that they belong and that they matter and that they can achieve anything that they want, and they deserve to be a part of every conversation. Okay, so the fourth question is, managing health challenges alongside my academic and personal goals can be demanding. What strategies have I developed to maintain a balance between my health, education, and advocacy work? To me, balancing my health with school advocacy and personal goals is definitely challenging, but I've learned to be more intentional about how I manage my time and energy. One concept that has really helped me is the spoon theory. The spoon theory is a metaphor that describes how people with chronic illness and disability have limited amounts of energy in a day. So, for someone who doesn't have a disability or chronic illness, they'll have 10 spoons in a day. And I will also have 10 spoons, but for a task, say like going out grocery shopping, for someone who is fully able bodied, it'll take them one spoon. For me, that might take me two or three spoons. And that is just something that I have learned to live with, and that I cannot push my body more because it's just going to backlash on me the next day. So really understanding that and understanding that rest is okay and that I shouldn't be ashamed of having rest is okay. Not everyone will have the same amount of spoons every day. And the final question, building connections with others in the disability community. And why is it important to me, and how can someone get started in this? So for me, I got started when I was like older, I think is when I really immersed myself. However, finding these communities is really about connection and knowing where to go. So for instance, for me, finding supports through places like CNIB, Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada, different places like that, I was able to find support groups and really make those connections and bonds with people. I've known blind people in my lifetime, but I was never really immersed into the world until I was 19 years old. I was brought into this world where there were so many people who were blind and so confident with themselves, and they weren't scared to be who they were. At the age of 19, I was, and I didn't even use my white cane. And so at this place, I met my best friend, who I am still best friends with to this day. It's where I learned how to use my white cane, but also accept myself and understand that my safety is so much more important than any stereotypes or stigmas that I always thought about whenever I was in public using my white cane. My one recommendation for people who want to get into these communities is don't be scared to say hello. If you know of someone or a group that you want to get involved with that you think would benefit you, just say hello and know that it's okay and they'll accept you for who you are. Thank you.